So no, you don't have to
Oh, we're
record.
live.
We're live Sunday, June 16th at 1:50 p.m.
Welcome.
Hey!
Special day today, and we're still on the grind. So we would like to talk to you guys about fathers.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Same. Anyway, how about you start off with how good dad, bad dad,
My
dad
was
alive?
A great dad. Definitely now no longer in this earth. A long time actually, since I was like 6 years old. So it's like a lot of like kind of like trials and tribulations. And it's probably gonna be like what, like 30 years.
Do you
like,
remember him though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fondly, yeah. Great dude. We still like tell me stories as a kid.
That's
We probably did pretty well, but you know, like I think like, cause he was like going through cancer and stuff, so it was like kind of crazy, like that. While like he was like having me live my best life while he was still around, he was also kind of like, you know, like,
Not
I'm
at
taking him to
his best.
Disneyland and I'm also going through chemotherapy.
Right.
I didn't find this out till later on. But I appreciate him for those things, and you know, like kind of like instills me like some kind of values on why I'm the man today. And then like if anything, it was my brother that like was my father figure growing up. So yeah,
Because you are the youngest of
I
four,
am the youngest of 4 kids. Yeah,
Brad.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
That's cool having both older sisters and brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Who protected you the most, your sisters or your brothers?
Shoot, like they all have their different degrees of how they were. Like my oldest sister was very compassionate.
Mm-hmm.
My second oldest sister, I always joke around that she had like middle child syndrome. But like, you know, like throughout the years, she used to be like kind of like a little bit harsh, but she's kind of come around and been more understanding.
Kind of more peaceful, right? Like,
More peaceful because
more
she's
peaceful
also been
life.
going through her own trauma that I didn't know until like later on in life.
What's middle child syndrome?
Oh,
You
so
feel
middle
left
child,
behind, alone.
like the
not
one that gets
included.
the less attention, so they kind of like
I'm
have
the
the
middle
same.
child, by the way, so I know
Yeah.
all about that.
That's why you call me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never heard that term.
I mean, are you okay? Like among siblings, are you the oldest, middle,
You were by
youngest?
Yourself, right?
or only child?
Older
Girl-
child.
Growing up youngest, but I also have like this like second double life in El Salvador.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's hard to say. I'm somewhere in the middle.
You're there.
Or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I was the middle child. My brother was my best friend. Keyword was. So we all spoiled him, from my parents to me to my grandparents. So that's why I say you brat, you know, as a child, youngest one, because he was a brat too. But loved him. He taught me some lessons. I always grew up wanting an older brother though, because I felt like I missed out on like older, tough brotherly love. Even though I got it from my dad, but I just wanted an older brother. Instead, I got an older sister.
That's,
But like you mentioned, they're very compassionate.
yeah.
Older sisters tend to be very compassionate.
That's how I was with wanting a younger sibling when I was younger. Because then there was a point in time where they used to tease me, and I was a little bit more sensitive. Now
Right.
I'm like, I don't know, I like learn to have like more thick skin, because whenever I meet somebody that doesn't like really understand sarcasm or being tongue in cheek, you know, like I'm just like, you know, I was there at one point, so I'm not gonna be like, oh, like grow thick skin, or you know, like toughen up or grow a pair. I'm gonna be like, you know, I was like you once, but I don't know if you're willing to hear it or not, you know.
Yeah. With my older sister, it was a lot of competition with my parents. Like she was like the firstborn. She had all the good genes, pretty, beautiful, intelligent, and then there was me, just there. You know, they had my little brother and they had my older sister, and I was just there. But later on in life, I ended up, you know, becoming myself. She became herself. We're very different, and I appreciated her. But later on in life, but growing up in high school and middle school, it was all like, oh, you're Jeanette, you know, you're so and so's little sister, and I'm just like, no, I'm just me, you know, and that was tough. But like I said, now, like, I ended up being the peacemaker when my younger brother was around, but not anymore anyway. But family's rough. My father wasn't the best father. He was a good man, nevertheless, good man, but just terrible father, I would say. Tough love all around. But I am the woman I am because of him. And I don't think they did a terrible job. So that's where I'm at with that. And I guess my fondest memory would be when I bought him a fat, I think it was a New York steak, and I gave it to him. So
Aw.
That's awesome.
that was really nice.
Heck yeah.
That's my fondest memory. So,
Yeah.
anyway, you?
Yeah, my definitely rest in peace to my father. Lost him last year. Love him though. I mean, he was a crazy guy. I mean, he was a senior executive vice president of financing for Bank of the West, and when he retired, he decided to adopt a child in his 60s. Or I'm sorry, mid 50s, from El Salvador, which was and still was for the past 20 years, murder capital of the world. That
Is it really?
Yeah, despite it not being a war zone. Now it's the number one, the biggest per capita, has the largest population that is incarcerated. And because of the president, Nayib Bukele, has made things so that he's trying to change the country and make it into what he refers to the Singapore of Central America. Yeah, and my father, yeah, he was a great man. He was always very responsible. He drank alcohol till the day he died. And
On his deathbed.
yeah, he couldn't live without it. And everybody has their vices.
Right.
And but he was a great man, and he served as a Navy man. He was naval intelligence, received a National Defense Medal in Cuba during the Vietnam War. And yeah, he was definitely just an interesting man who, I mean, growing up I had to walk on eggshells around him, because if the remote was missing and it was right in front of him, I was getting screamed at. But but he always had food on the table. I probably had steak like once or twice a week, growing up. Yeah, and he was just a good. He had good morals. He just came from a. He came from his own different background. Like he's a man from Montana that came from nothing. He lost his father when he was 18, and
So would you put it like this? Great man, not so good of a father, or all around just great man and great father? How would you put that?
that's very complicated to say because he was definitely a great father and a great man because he was an example of how to be stable, put food on the table, take care of your children and your business.
But were you allowed to be yourself in front of him?
No, definitely not. No, I mean, it would depended because when he got older, like when he was more in his 70s and more recently, like in the last 5 years.
So he was a father, not a friend.
Yeah, most definitely. Father, not a friend. Well, until he got older, and then
Lighten up a little bit.
yeah, because he couldn't go around. He couldn't go kicking me around the house. He couldn't give me the boot. But he was definitely a good father, and when he got older, he was just a freaking. It was like a 360. He was a sweetheart. I could say, we would discuss about many things and be around each other. He would give me financial advice or just life advice as much as he could, and and I would help him as much as I could, no matter what was going on. And The only thing that I wish I did was just be around more with him. But I do have plans with my dad because he was cremated, and I'm gonna take him to Everest, and his name's Evan. Put Evan on Everest and spreads the ashes out there because he deserves it. It costs roughly like 30,000 and more to get up there for some reason, but I'm gonna make it happen. It's a mission of mine.
Definitely would love to see it.
Yeah.
Recorded. If you could do that, that'd be great.
Oh, absolutely.
I would love to be a part of that experience.
Yeah, I would love it. If you could provide the equipment, I'm definitely gonna do. Because I'm definitely gonna do it because I'm I had been a wildland firefighter for 4 years, so I've been up countless mountains and been on some have been on the biggest fires in California history, and
And these were like during like the wildfires we were having.
oh yeah,
Oh,
over the past decade,
Yeah.
and they haven't gotten as big since, but and
Good.
yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
want to burn.
Yeah.
Let's keep it that way.
yeah. No, when they put me on the scene, they were like, okay, now they don't want to mess around. The fire got scared.
good.
Yeah, but
When are you planning on doing that?
I don't know. I really just gotta establish myself.
It's on your bucket list, though.
It's
Gotcha.
it's not just a bucket list, but it's just it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen.
Right.
And
A goal. Sorry.
yeah, no, yeah, it's and it's like a 50-50 chance that I make it up there and back, but I mean
Is there any way you could cheat?
Uh,
Get up there somehow?
no, I mean I'm willing to do the real thing and
Okay.
and definitely take him up there because he deserves it. I mean he went not only went through 4 different, because I was adopted, and not only did he go through 4 different lawyers during the time when El Salvador had its civil war, and actually it was just a few years after, but the rivers were still full of bodies, and things were just so crazy that the U.S. Embassy ended up telling him that you're on your own if you go down there, and so my mother. My brave mother, my awesome mother, who I thankfully still have, thank God still have, and my father, who was the crazy Vietnam War vet, said, "Yeah, no, I don't. We've already gone through 2 years, like a year, 2 years of lawyers and talk. I'm going down there to get my son," and he did just that, and he's a great man that I'm very thankful for. Who knows where I'd be now if he never would have, if my mother and he and my mother never really went to go give me a better life. And that's why I feel like Everest would be, he brought me from one of the lowest parts of the world. Why not bring him to one of the highest parts of our world?
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's why like my parents came from Philippines, because like
Nice.
apparently like my parents came like around the 70s, around Marcos, who was like the dictator at the time.
Oh.
So they wanted like a better life, and because they were just kind of like just tired of how he was like running the country, they came over here for like like as my mom described it when I was doing like school projects about like why they immigrated, for greener grass, as like she puts it. And yeah, like from there, because whole entire time I thought it was because like my dad was like a respected member of the community, like in San Francisco, as like a in the Filipino community, but he was also friends with like different politicians, one of them being Dianne Feinstein of all people. And so like it's a trip now because like where I'm working at right now is a private school, that it's like like it's a different background because it's a Jewish private school. And so like when they like gave news about like Dianne Feinstein's passing like this last year, I was like, yeah, my dad was friends with that lady. So I was like, everything goes full circle, which is crazy, but
I wish I was Jewish.
yeah, I mean, I'm glad I'm in the skin of it. That's all I'm saying. But
Same.
like with him, like no, like he was like with doing events like in the Filipino community during his time, and like a lot of people respected him like there. And then I was raised Catholic, so like the funny thing is, if like my dad was like still alive, I always think about like we probably argue over like some of the pettiest stuff. And that's what like that's probably like that was what my brother was telling me when we was growing up, because like like my dad was more on the conservative side. Like he's looking at my brother, he's like,
Republican.
it's funny. I mean, he voted Reagan from what I heard, but I heard he's like more like on the Democratic side. But we all know how the Democratic side is rooted from. But just stray away from politics though, because it's like more on the religious side. It's like because he has that upbringing of Catholicism and Christianity. His thing is because my brother had like piercings. He's like, what are you like, gay and stuff?
Old school. He was
Yeah,
old
he
school,
was
very
old
old
school,
school.
yeah.
He's OG.
Okay.
So like
Same as my parents. They're
Yeah.
old school. None of tattoos. Just
Right.
strict Catholic people.
Yeah.
Like,
And then, hey, when I got my tattoos and like my mom, it was funny because I got my first one right over here at 21, and like my mom was like, just came back from the Philippines. She's like,
what's that?
like you got a tattoo? I was like, yeah, I'm about to get another one like soon. And she's like, man, tattoos are for convicts and stuff. But I was like,
Right.
what she didn't know at the time was like both of these represent like both parts of the Philippines where my family's from. So
That sword is
this one right
hard.
here,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
what's the other one?
this one is a Damascus or a crease. So
It's
like,
also a sword though.
It's a sword,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Kind of like a snake sword.
Kind of
Yeah.
like it,
Yeah, that's pretty
but
cool.
When my dad told me to not get tattoos while I was in prison, well, for obvious reasons, because one, Hep C is easily contractable because tattoo artists, the way that they make it is that they get like a paper clip, and then they roll it, and then they pretty much shiv it to a fine point, and then jimmy their own needle, with motor. And then that's kind of part of the process. But also, with that, there are artists that will use ink on multiple people and not tell people, and just say, "Oh, this is a brand new needle."
And it's kind of a gamble, like if you get a prison tattoo and if it's sterile or not, because it's like resources. From my understanding, like in prisons, I've been inside like an institution once, like when I was like a part of a research group with the American Civil Liberties Union.
Yeah.
And we were investigating, like our topic was on economic injustice or justices.
Yeah.
And we were actually taking a look into one of the prisons up here in NorCal, and we were looking at like like the labor unions and how they get like shit paid. Like these glasses that I wear could possibly be from like from the jail cells where
Right.
they make them. So I'm like,
People in jail are they're very talented.
yeah,
Oh,
Very
100%.
talented individuals.
Yeah.
They just made a mistake. That
Yeah.
ended up being that they're in jail, but they're very talented.
Yeah, because the judicial system is very flawed. It not only is it the three strikes flawed from the beginning, but you have people that were a lot of these people are young, and at the time there was a lot of racists. Myself, half the people in prison were black, and
It's probably still relevant to this day,
Right.
unfortunately.
yeah, and they do people wrong where it's like people do commit crimes though. There are people
Yeah.
that are guilty of crimes, but there are also people that just don't deserve 18 years for trying to just feed themselves to, you know, that just needed help for some sort of drug addiction, you know, and and which is really sad. But as time progresses, and especially with technology, and people are getting smarter, and things can be
Be
reformed.
improved,
Yeah, as time progresses, because yeah, definitely. I have some interesting history with the law where they, for them, it would be more like there's a quote saying, "We often provide our enemies with the means with which to defeat us," and but yeah, definitely, I would say that reform is necessary. Like that three strikes law makes absolutely no sense nowadays. I mean, especially, I mean, if you could give somebody like 100 years, give them 100 years. But it's like if you have a three strikes law, and then say something happens that had nothing to do with you, and then 10 years down the road, you happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. It affects you, and then all of a sudden your life that you had just been living, that was completely normal, completely non
crime.
yeah, zero crime. You pay your taxes.
Good citizen.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you got this. You just have this. You have this strike that all of a sudden now you got these guys saying, because the court system, really what it is right now, it's a wheeling and dealing corporation, because not only conspiracy theories is that that people and rappers have talked about this for years. People that invest and own the record labels push for ignorance, and also are investors into the prison systems. And so, like Bob Barker is a big name in prison. All the shoes in there, Bob Barker shoes, and yeah, right, and so it's a really, and on top of that, you have those inmate firefighters that get paid like dollars,
Basically
pennies a day, minus 50%, and then and then they have you, like they had this, you know, they had this gentleman that was fighting fires for 5 years, and you're doing stuff like you're going into homes, you're going around and pulling out bodies, you're going out and you're getting flown into places, you're avoiding boulders, watching people die, not just from getting stabbed from being in prison, but you're also you're out there. It's like a secret society that people don't know, because it's in the woods. You only see really inmates once the fires start reaching the suburban areas, and yeah, it's just it's wrong. Those guys should get at least some like minimum wage or something, because
something to be able to go back to when they're, home.
Yeah,
Or
because
get out.
yeah.
Like a second chance.
Well,
you know?
yeah, and on top of that, yeah, they and to decrease the recidivism rates, because then you can save your money, and then because there are opportunities to work elsewhere and do other things, but when you're doing your time, you should just be doing your time, and then you should be able to go on with your life. But
Right.
It's
a little more complex than that, huh?
Yeah, it's very flawed, very old school, and absolutely needs revision.
Luckily, I never been to jail.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about jail.
Good.
It's
Yeah.
It's a whole other world that I'm
It's a secret society.
right, that I don't know about, which is crazy because
I mean, the interesting thing about the prison system is just how corporatized it is.
Right. You wouldn't think that, right? Like,
Yeah.
why would jail be a business? Like, you know?
Why would it be?
Why-
Right, right?
It's
It's about money. Yeah, and there's, you know, and
Why are they
it's sad,
why are they private prisons?
right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into that. But going back to your tattoos, I heard that they're expensive.
Depends from who you get, but like mine came from a like the tattoo artist that I got was recommended from one of my mentors, like in music. So like I was like, I want to look for like one of the good recommendations for Filipino like tribal tattoo artists, and he recommended me this cat from Long Beach.
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so you had to go all the way to LA?
Luckily, he was coming up to like Oakland at least, so he was,
Oh,
like,
okay.
he was able to do 2 sessions for each.
He was
one.
already coming, so he didn't charge you like extra for the travel?
Yeah. So, but
Oh,
at
nice.
the time, it was like I think like altogether, like for both of them, like under a rack, like 700. Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
You probably got a good deal. Because now I hear like even the little ones are like pretty pricey.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, I want another tattoo. It's like,
Are you addicted to them now?
now for me, like I'm very meticulous about the kind of tattoos that I want that I haven't really gotten through with any other ones, just because I don't want to be like, oh, I want to do that whole laser removal of it
Right.
because. I don't
Now,
know.
mind you, you can do whatever you want with your body. The only advice: don't go overboard. That's my only thing.
Yeah.
Don't go overboard. They're nice. They look good on people, but once you like have your whole body or things in your face,
Mhm.
it's time to cut it off.
See, that's what I would want. I never got tattoos, but I would if I were to go for them, I would have them all over my sleeves, arms, chest.
That's too much.
legs.
Chest, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Legs even, but like when it starts to like
And-
be your personality
Yeah.
or who you are,
Like face tattoos, I'm not really all about that. you know.
right.
It's like for other people that do it, that's cool. It's
Right. It's their body,
Yeah.
your choice. But
Mhm.
I'm just saying for me personally, like know the limit. That's it.
Yeah.
I would only do it because I know that it's just so, there's just girls out there that just automatically attract the bad boys with the whole tattoo thing.
We are. We
Yeah.
are. But
and having all those tattoos is
do
just
it
like
for the right reason, like you said. You're gonna end up lasering them off or regretting them. And it's, you only have one body, so be
right.
smart about it.
Right, but later, but not having them gives you opportunities. Like say you go do a film,
Right.
they just put the tattoos on you rather than now. Oh, you
Or
you
they
keep-
could cover them too.
Yeah.
It just depends on
yeah,
the
and
script.
and it's definitely
And people still discriminate against you. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
They shouldn't, but they do.
yeah.
I mean,
with-
that's just that old school mentality.
Right.
Where I mean, it's like okay, in Japan, if you do have these tattoos, you're automatically labeled as like a part of like
Right.
the mob out there. So-
Prison, yeah.
and they're like afraid of you. They're like, oh.
Oh, they won't even let you into certain restaurants. if you have
Hopefully that's
tattoos.
not the case. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
Luckily, mine's is hideable, so it's like I just gotta wear like sleeves.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I watched
That's
documentaries on it.
messed up.
Yeah,
That's messed up.
If you have any exposed tattoos, they will not let you. They will not do. People will not do business with you.
In Japan?
In
Aren't they like aren't they the ones that get like their skin covered in tattoos though?
I am not
Say it's
sure.
From like the gangsters out there, yeah. So, but that's like that's like I don't know how it is nowadays out there, but
But I personally will not get any tattoos. Not my style. I'm old school.
If I get a tattoo, I'd get one of my mom.
There you go.
Like a heart with saying mom, and then maybe one with my dad.
Okay,
Smoking
nobody
a
can-
cigar.
Nobody can hate on that because it's pretty pure, but
Yeah,
be creative.
yeah,
Yeah.
That little heart with a mom, everybody has that.
Everybody has that, but still, I
Gets
don't
the
know.
point across,
It's
yeah.
cute.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's like I love you, mama.
Yeah, I get something on behalf of my siblings for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I'd rather not. Anyway, moving on. You wanted to talk about some.
Yeah, so I recently did a AI shoot, a AI photo shoot, which was really interesting. And so they used So I went to San Francisco, and they used me to create some sort of. It's called Tavis, and
Tavis?
Yeah, the website, and they pretty much it's pretty much taking people and then using AI for something. I'm not sure. I'm not really certain. I'm not clear on what it is, but it was really cool, really interesting. I got to see a crazy set, and then on top of that, well, I came way overdressed because I brought like literally like a wardrobe when all I really needed was just one T-shirt, and then
So you came like in a suit and tie.
no, I brought one. I brought a suit, but I was also told to bring numerous things just in case. But it all worked out either way. But it was just kind of funny that I was like kind of told like, yeah, bring a bunch of stuff. But then when I get there, they were like, oh no, you're fine. No, you're not even using any of that. And I'm like, oh okay then.
Better prepared than not.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Just like yeah, absolutely. And that was freaking crazy because it was yeah, you know, it was this unexpected blessing of work, and they said they are going to be doing more work in the future, and I look forward to having it because I'd love to get involved again, and I have no idea what they're using it for, but it was pretty
In a
well.
porno.
And no, I'm gonna get paid for that. What the heck?
Why not?
Yeah, what? Yeah, use my face on somebody else. Yeah, I better get some sort of what do they call that?
Compensation?
Yeah,
Royalties?
royalties, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh.
So my understanding of AI is it is the future, which I'm willing to accept. But my only concern is like, will it kill like creativity, you know, or will it enhance it? That's the one thing that I always wondered.
A little bit of both, depending on your field.
Yeah.
I personally have not used AI for my scripts, even though people are like, you should. No, I haven't done it yet. I feel it takes the human aspect of it away.
That's how I feel about like at least like people that like write their lyrics in like ChatGPT and stuff. And I'm like,
Have you ever tried it at least or no?
I've tried at least like kind of like what I do with Siri. I'll always ask it like random ass questions. And stuff,
Right.
But that's as far as I'll go. You know.
But I think what AI right now, what's awesome about it, AI has been around for decades. Programming and AI has been around for a long time. Siri being one of them, but one of the resources with ChatGPT in general is, to me, is the six-shooter in the midst of this wild west of technology and the booming technology age. And it's a learning technology age. And so you're hyper learning things. Like for example, what I look on ChatGPT for right now. So I was asking it, what is the cost of new shocks on my car? And then it just
Oh shit.
yeah, it goes down and boom, breaks down immediately faster than Siri.
Uh-huh.
It breaks down cost of parts. So economy shocks $20 to $50, mid-range shocks $50 to $100, high-end shocks $100 to $200
That's
plus.
crazy how
That's
fast it
insane.
answered you.
Yeah, typically labor cost ranges from $150 to $300 for replacing all four shocks. You could even, and so overall, for replacing all four shocks, you will expect to pay $400 and $1,200, including parts and labor. It's advisable to get quotes from a few mechanics, and so
That's impressive.
I like that.
yeah. And on top like
And it was just an app. It was just chat beat.
yeah, ChatGPT. Like if you go on the website, you can look it up.
Uh-huh.
That's what that's what the app looks like.
Okay.
And like you could ask it like say
It's like Siri, but like 20 times better.
20 times faster.
And like Rocket Street, whoa.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. Oh, it's no, it's
Depends
awesome.
how you use it. I
Yeah.
think about it like power. It's like either you could use it for the right reasons or you could abuse it. You know.
Like I ask it things also like things to do with physics because I'm also interested in knowing what's going on in Switzerland. Switzerland having the Large Hadron Collider, with which was created by CERN, that is involved through with several countries, not too far from the Ukrainian war zone. And and what it tells you is that it tells you. Let me ask it. What has?
I'm kind of interested in seeing, putting in my script on there and see what it gives me, and then doing both my original and the ChatGPT version and see which one people like
Oh yeah.
best.
Oh yeah. You could.
But I don't know if people are up to work, up for the work
Oh no,
on that.
it's a creative thing like this. Like
No, I'm saying like this, like actually do both scripts, mine and ChatGPT's.
Oh,
That'd be a lot of work.
Well, it'd be a lot of work, but it could.
I don't know. That's something to think about.
Yeah, it's something. It's like beneficial. Like say.
It could be, or I'm just maybe adding more work to myself.
Well, you could also think of like something like, for example, like it gives you this too.
Dude,
like,
if I had the funds to do it, I would do it. Cause I rather do creative work than obviously my 9 to 5. But I don't have that kind of
Luxury.
time yet.
No, I have time. I have time. I just don't have the resources.
Resources.
Yet.
Got it.
Yet.
Yeah, definitely. ChatGPT is well, when it comes to intelligence, is a fast resource where like for example, learning about being interested in physics and learning about the Large Hadron Collider, which is pretty much is it shoots particles at each other really fast and creates pretty much they pretty much create I believe they created the temperature of the sun inside the LHC. And they've discovered new particles, which because physicists use it to find they're trying to find out more about the universe and more about their theories. And so what has the LHC discovered? The Higgs boson, most notably discovered a particle that provides other particles with mass. It's a fundamental particle. The most notable discovery is the Higgs boson, a fundamental particle that provides other
This
particles.
is over my head. I'm not intelligent enough for this shit.
What it learned is that there's like these explosions of plasma that come out when these particles come together, because what the Higgs boson
is God particles.
the God particle. And then what's funny is that it's the God particle doesn't.
God particle?
It's called the God particle, not because it's like the not like it's not because it's who God is. It's nothing religious. It's just kind of an ironic thing, because not only are most physicists are atheists, but it comes from the gentleman who named it it came from the gentleman. And the name was the goddamn particle. Yeah.
My understanding is it's also what is like what involves like things like the Big Bang Theory and all that stuff, and what creates matter.
Right.
So that's basically what covers what Higgs boson is, or the God particles in general. So.
But it's scary because they're creating mini black holes, and when they're doing that, it's like you never know what's gonna happen. Just like when that movie, the movie where they were where they were gonna drop the atom bombs. They didn't know the whether the atmosphere was going to be completely destroyed when they dropped the bombs.
We're talking Oppenheimer or
Oppenheimer, that's the
Okay,
movie.
yeah.
They had no idea whether they were going to completely destroy our atmosphere by dropping those bombs. But they did it anyways,
Yeah, I mean that was war right there. Like
yeah,
the thing about like that was like that was gonna be their solution to make the Japanese surrender.
correct.
But the thing was at what cost? You know, there's still kind of like those ethical questions whether dropping those bombs in those two cities was ethical or unethical.
That's
So like there's that argument, and it's not like a reasonable doubt. Like it was also a means to an end, but at what cost? You know.
it was a huge cost, but but definitely the LHC is similar because you got a bunch of physicists that have this thing. What's funny is that another ironic thing, but physicists being atheists most of the time, the LHC who owns it, which is owned by CERN. The LHC actually looks like a 666, and so the logo for CERN is looks like a 666 if you actually when you look at it. And whether or not they did that on purpose, you never know because if they
669.
no yeah or that too, but it's but yeah it's this is let me see right now, actually. CERN logo.
I feel like AI was like really big last year, and it kind of just it's dying down now.
Look, right here.
I mean, it's still
Right here.
it still has people's attention.
666.
Where do you see the 6?
See that 6 right there? And then see that 6 right there?
Oh, okay.
And
Oh
see that 6 right
yeah,
there?
yeah.
See that 6 right there?
Trippy.
Oh wow.
See that 6 right there? See that 6 right there? And,
Yeah.
and that's all the company in Switzerland. There's about there's a number of different countries in it, and here's what it looks like too. The 6
Can't
Like
see
it's
it, it's a blue screen.
Oh yes. Well, it is, but that's what the actual LHC looks like too. So they say that they based their logo off of what the machine looks like.
666.
Yeah, but and it's
69.
yeah. Yeah.
69 on there. Wild. Okay.
But now it's like, man, are they cooking up something nefarious, or what is the?
Well, yeah, exactly. Because the thing about it is it's in Switzerland, which is known for hiding money for decades, and
And it's people talking about like, oh, I have a Swiss bank account in the Raps.
Yeah.
People like Jay-Z rapping. That
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
and so it's in a place
Really?
where it's
Yeah.
very protected. It's very it's like
Illuminati.
it's on that it's Illuminati level. That's for sure.
Yeah, very cryptic for the most part, but it's just like, what is their true agenda,
And it's so close to that Ukrainian war zone. It's like if Russia got their hands on it, what would they do with it? It's just crazy times in the world going on right now.
Yeah. And especially with all the different conflicts going on in the world.
Oh yeah.
So since we last spoke, and the podcast is called The Grind, before people start asking what we're talking about,
Grinding.
what have you guys done since we last spoke towards your careers?
I've actually been working on a few collab projects with a couple artists. One where we have like about 16 tracks deep, me and like an artist by the name of Amulet, and we actually devised really. The way I see it is like we call ourselves Ginsong era. Ginsong in Tagalog translating into gold, and then what a lot of the what we call hip hop purists, their favorite time frame in hip hop is what's called the golden era. So it's a play on words from that.
Gold.
Gold. Yeah. So like, and we don't mean the currency of gold bars. We're actually using a metaphor of gold because we also look at it in the grand scheme of what is the aside from the people of the Philippines, also one of the biggest resources in the Philippines. Why colonizers came to the Philippines was because of gold.
Mm.
So like, I thought of like a crazy symbol for it, which
So
is
did California.
yeah. So it's crazy, right? Like we come from there, Philippines, no different. But
Right.
a crazy thing in regards to history and a symbol that like I've chosen to use is like there's a golden Buddha that I use, which is in reference to I believe he was a general back in World War II when Japan colonized or like yeah they took over the Philippines during World War II, and they had this prized possession called Yamashita
Mm.
or Yamashita's gold. So it's this giant Buddha that a lot of people were fighting over, and the last person to become.
Where's it at?
That's the crazy part. Think of it like the Ark of the Covenant, if that makes sense. There's no known whereabouts on where it is, but it's like one of those coveted prizes that come from the Philippines. The last known person to have it was Ferdinand Marcos, and so his claim was he wanted to keep that for the people of the Philippines.
It's probably in the cathedral.
Most likely, yeah. Who knows? It could be also
In
like
somebody's
buried
house.
in his vault, you know?
Yeah, or just in somebody's garden.
Right, right. And they don't even know.
Yeah, you just never know.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But it's just I like hiding those kind of gems and pieces of history because, for me, it's just I want to, like why I create music is just for people to think, and that's why I put that symbolism,
Because
behind
it's
it.
a part of you.
It's a part of me.
Yeah. Yeah. The gold.
Cool.
Wherever the hell it is.
Yeah. And then just working on music. Wherever
Maybe
I
the
go.
music is the gold.
It is, yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
But even when I think of the term like golden era or Ginsong era, like the aim that I want to aim for it is that it's more contemporary rather than just a specific time frame. So I don't know, it's like double, triple, however many multiple entendres it requires. It's just like, yeah, okay, like you like really dug deep into like putting this all together for that purpose. So
So you've been working on music
for the most part, yeah.
with
Music.
that partner.
So,
Okay.
and
That's
then,
what you've been up to.
yeah, and then we also like do work with another producer by the name of Lax the Monk. He's like crazy, like on the finger drumming, like on what's called the MPC, which is like you do everything at real time, more than just having it on a computer and doing what we call like Control Alt Delete, where we just drag and drop what we call like all these musical pieces, because I think that's the biggest argument about hip hop is like, is it like real music? It is. It requires a lot of musicality. There are 4 counts, but some people that are music nerds think that sampling is just like child's play. But there's like intricacies, like something complex behind it.
What's the most popular products that are used for music that people for anyone getting started in that kind of industry? Would you say it's apps, or would you say that it is is physical products themselves?
Physical products themselves, like the most I can speak on is all right. In regards to like one of my primary focuses, which is the like the beat scene, like people that do like live beat sets and stuff, they use what's called a SP 404. If I'm not mistaken, this specific model is a Mark V. You see each and every producer like using that one because it's like they have those buttons that have other like samples, loops, even whole entire songs in one of these like 16 pads that they play throughout their sets, which is cool. And then they mess around with effects in real time. But the thing is, I'm like, man, everybody's using it. how can I like go be different, you know? So that's my thing. But from my observation, I see a lot of people on SP404, or if not, they also use MPC Lives, which is like, you know, another device that's kind of like, both of them don't even require having to use a
Wait, I have a
laptop.
question. I have a question.
Yeah.
You said you want to be unique.
Yeah.
What makes you unique? What do you think makes you special?
Because I don't know, like think about it like the Avatar, right? There's no primary focus. Like I may be like rooted from hip hop, but I branch out into different realms of music and make it hip hop. You know, so like one key person would be one of my biggest influences, even though there's like a bad rep to his name, is Africa Bombada. He was well, he one song that he was known for is Planet Rock, and the sample that he used was from a German musician by the name of Kraftwerk. Now this is an electronic kind of sounding, like kind of robotic sound. Well, what he had soul behind it, and just like creates it into his own like kind of like his sound.
Yeah.
You know, it's hip hop. You know, and that's the thing is like, I think some people think that because if it involves breaks, or if it's an 808, if it's a specific sound, like I could get down with it. But the thing is like, what are you doing to at least like contribute to the culture? You know, what are you doing in order to like add more to it? And where I'm like, you know what, I have an understanding of all these musics. Like I'll go from like house to drum and bass. I'm trying to dwell into like bass music, which is like more heavy, kind of. It's like the present day dubstep, but it's just more trippier.
I like house. I like house because you know it like being creative, like how you were saying. There was that song "Tiny Dancer" by with Britney Spears. I don't know where Britney Spears is in the song,
Yeah.
but that song "Tiny Dancer" I actually like because it just it's just different and just really like high energy and it's just it's unique and but it's also has a unique relevancy with being in like just the music world.
Yeah. And the thing about music is that, I mean, as far as anything else in regards to fields, it's like there's like a key term where if you're doing the same thing or you're just complacent in like constantly doing the same thing, like I feel like it's also insanity as well, you know? I always feel like it's always good to just reinvent yourself, come up with new sounds, but also make it yourself. And that's where I kind of bring it back, you know? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Like yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like trying to like just do something different and just be like, you know, like I want to be able to be like, man, I never thought of it like that, but I like how like you kind of did the spin to it, you know?
Heck yeah.
So yeah, I mean, one example I could provide with me and like with Amulet is we've been spitting over these songs that sound like musical scores. Mind you, it doesn't really have a, let's say like that typical like boom bap boom 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 bap. It'll have like a musical score kind of in it where you can hear it in a movie. You won't hear like anybody rapping over it, you know. Like a prime example of somebody who's done that is like Jay Electronica, where he raps over the score for Eternal Sunshine on the Spotless Mind,
Yeah.
and he makes it into a 9-minute magnum opus.
Yeah.
So,
Are you the type to have the beat first and then do the lyrics, or the lyrics to the beat?
I feel like the beat has to come first, then I can like draw emotion from it, and then most of the time, like when I do, either if like I come up on a beat myself, or if I like, especially with artists that or producers that I work with, and I really like their stuff, it's always like love at first sight for me. Like I just don't want it. There's like some that collect dust, but most of the time when I do find a beat that's like, man, I want to create something to it, I just like kind of like accept that intention and just create it, like moving forward.
Because the beat speaks to you.
Yeah, and it's like, man, what am I trying to illustrate?
Right.
Sometimes it can come easy, sometimes, especially if it's a full song, like where I'm writing the whole thing, but usually like collabs, I'm able to write a 16 bar, like, in a snap.
Could you do collabs pretty easily, or are they more complex?
I'm pretty easy to work with, but it's
Yeah.
always depending on, the one thing is, especially if they're very like on the controlling side, and they try to just manage how you should do everything. It's like, no, like I'm more kind of like on that jazz kind of centric kind of side where it's about improvisation. You know, you can
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
yeah, you can't do everything the same way you did it before, and I make my peace with that.
Like
know?
life.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta give the artists their freedom, their space to do what it is. So even if you want control, you can't get all the control, especially if you're working with somebody else.
Yeah.
No.
And I understand that, you know. That's why, like, even when the script is written, I give my actors room to like improv or tell me like, you know, you have this here, but how about we say it like this?
Yeah.
And the way they tell me to do it, I'm open to like hearing, you know, how to improve it, because I know I'm not the best, you know,
Oh no.
at things, you know, and maybe the way I say it is not as good as it could come across.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm open to criticism.
Definitely.
Well, it's still my work, you know,
Yeah.
but it's just smoother. So you can't really have control of everything.
Yeah, yeah, like that movie Thor, where there's in one of the Thor movies, there was a kid who was there, and they were doing a line, and he put out saying who when they asked like oh who is that, he's fighting the Hulk in an arena, and then and then he says and he's like he's
That's my friend from work.
that's my friend from work,
Yeah,
and
work
that
on
came
work dudes. Yeah.
and that line came from a kid's suggestion
Yeah.
at the movie set.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
pretty awesome.
there is, on this specific script that I have written that is going to be my next film, the ending is the way I want it.
Mm.
And I'm going to stick to the ending the way I want it.
Yeah.
So in that, I will have creative control.
Yeah.
You can have the beginning, the middle, you can't have the end.
Yeah.
The end is mine.
Vision.
Yeah. The vision of the end is mine, and I'm going to keep it that way.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? There's things you can have space to work with,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some things that you gotta stick with that you just know in your heart that it's gonna be great. If it's executed properly, it's gonna change the way people see film,
Mm-hmm.
or the way that specific scene is gonna touch people's heart, because that's what it's supposed to do. You have to aim for at least three scenes that capture something special, and you've done your goal as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
If you have at least three things that they capture,
Yeah.
you know, at least that's how I feel right now.
Yeah, no, that makes absolute sense. I mean, having that vision, you know, that final.
And it'll be in the beginning, or it'll be in the middle, or be in the end. You never know, but you're like, okay, you guys have free range of whatever you want, but the beginning is mine, or the middle is mine, or the end is mine.
It has to go this way.
You know what I
Otherwise, it has to be this dialogue. Yeah.
Just for that specific
I
scene.
think that's the key thing to collaborating is like, it's always about finding that middle ground of what works organically rather than, no, it's going to be A, B,
Or
C.
in anything in
Yeah.
life, you know what I mean? In relationships, anything. You'd be
Mhm.
like, you can do anything right here, but this you can't, or this you can't. And that's how magic is made.
Yeah. But I always like to always issue like, and I say like with the utmost respect, is always kind of challenging, not yourself, also the person you're collaborating with. And my intention for stating that is because you want to like come up with the end result of something great, you know. So
Yeah.
there's a song that I've had like collecting dust that I titled Harp.
Harp.
And harp is in reference to what's known as either a weather controlling machine or a mind control machine.
They have weather control machines, and also they have heart attack guns too. Have you heard of that?
That I haven't heard of, but I just was like going over the general idea of it because it kind of like, you know, like in regards to science fiction and all those kind of things, or in reality, it crosses my mind because it's like, as an artist, I'm like, I think this would be crazy to just turn it into metaphors for like what we can do as artists. So the person I collaborate with was like, yo, man, got a challenge for you, right? this is gonna be like this is like kind of a concept that I have, and I always like doing like highly conceptual stuff, even if it's kind of loosely based on it, and just be like, all right. Key thing is I'm kind of playing along with controlling the weather. How would you like? How would you manifest it within 16 bars, and then bam, be delivered with like within a matter of days? And it's like, all right, we got something. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So.
Yeah, the modern battlefield and the future battlefield is going to be insane. Just like Albert Einstein said, World War II was fought with guns. World War III is going to be fought with sticks and stones. Yeah.
I hear there's a war brewing up, so we'll
Well,
see.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
I don't want it to though.
Nobody does, but it's the way everything just lined up. It would not shock me that it starts today or anytime soon.
You heard it here first.
Right.
How about you? How about you? What?
Oh, I've
have
been
you
grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day, every single day is grind. I've not stopped grinding for can't stop because I mean what I've been doing is modeling, acting. Just recently working with a real estate company. Worked with a flower event company.
Mhm.
Working with you as well, which is awesome. And working with AI too, AI company. Also just
Staying busy, I see.
yeah, oh yeah. Always constantly, every day's a grind. Always looking for something. Selling, selling whether I've been selling solar.
Well, how's that going actually?
Well, I haven't been doing it for them for the past couple months because I've been doing more of my own things,
Okay.
which actually I've been making a little bit. I made sales for them, but I made good money in a month than I have compared to them because there it's more as a stepping ladder.
Yeah.
And some of those companies, because it's so new, it's a beta, so some of them are kind of pyramid schemish. Unless you're really good or unless you're a stud that's just just killing it all the time.
Yeah.
But which sometimes some things have to be learned if you don't have it automatically. But grinding all the time, constantly, nonstop. Always looking for something, and I'm not responsible with my money. It's always so. Sometimes I spend.
It's human.
No judgment.
It's human.
That's got to be everybody. It's got to be but definitely always looking for that new thing. Just like my friends with modeling and acting,
So when
pursuing.
you were talking to me about.
Acting, pursuing acting and modeling careers. Well, maybe not. No, I'm not sure about. I can't say careers, but I mean, so far there's been consistencies.
Maybe
And,
hobby, I guess.
I wouldn't say hobby because to me, I need the money and also investing.
Oh no, I was talking about the actress.
Oh, the actress. Actress. Oh, she's doing marvelous. Yeah, she's been in the Super Bowl commercial, and I also do my own. I do investing too. Money I make, it goes. I flip it around, and in my last investment, doubled up money, so that was nice. And I'm pretty much trying. I've been trying to get into reading, and really, I look up to people like Mark Cuban and try and follow, and this other John Rohn. His net worth was about $500,000, but a lot of his money he made, I believe, he has also made from giving advice as to for personal development.
It's funny you mentioned books because the person that was supposed to be on here was an author. Didn't happen.
Yeah. But hey, that's okay.
It's okay because we're still grinding.
Because we're
Still grinding, man.
Yeah,
We're doing it.
and this conversation is interesting, very very interesting. The John Rohn, he has his own he has a Instagram, and always have these
What about you?
awesome, yeah. Yeah, even I'm sorry. You might not know her. Her name's Vicky Beretta. She is a model slash actress, and she posts a genre on too. And I might be mispronouncing his name, but he's he's always has spits the best game. Like he tells you things like it's not the weather, it's not the economy, it's not your car, it's not that your parents that is doing things that are going wrong for you. Everything is you. Everything is you that is what happens, what changes, and what you can do for yourself. And I just love all of his posts, and definitely Mark Cuban is a great example too, because he's a Shark Tank guy, and he just supposedly his daily routine is which is what my dream of is. I mean, he owns a private jet because it saves time you can't buy and buy back. And two, he supposedly he spends a lot of his days doing emails, reading books, and then that's about it. Making sure that his investments are golden, and I'm definitely trying to get stay more on top of reading, because the book that I'm currently reading is 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene, and that one you can read over and over again, because it teaches you about how to manipulate, but also shows you
How to manipulate what?
manipulate people, manipulate situations.
I don't know if that's the correct term you want to use, because manipulation is a negative connotation.
Right, but it also shows you how how to spot the manipulators, and that's what I like about it. That's my take from that book, and it's always different. It's always every time I read it,
Right.
it's something that you can pick up over and over again.
I mean, contrary to like manipulation, I don't know. I always like to like flip the coin and be using the term motivate or uplifting, more than manipulating, because the way I see manipulating is like,
It's not a good thing.
well, that too, but it's just you're pushing people without like having to like give them a reason to. Motivating is giving them that knowledge or smartening them up,
Yeah,
So,
but there are manipulators out there,
but
and
Oh yeah, not everybody's.
and I do agree with like spotting them too, but it's just like I've always had that like thing where I'm like, I don't know, like I can't find it in my bones to manipulate somebody, but to at least like wise somebody up if I'm able to, or when I'm able to. Like I feel like it's like more of a more holistic route more than anything.
absolutely.
Well, I've been grinding a little smaller scale. I've been saving up money for a camera,
Nice.
because I want a camera, because I don't have one. So every day I've been saving $5
Yes.
on the little Ziploc bag. It's very humbling, you gotta start somewhere.
Investment.
And if I don't start saving at least $5, because I am bad at budgeting, I am bad at finances. If you don't start somewhere, then I'm never gonna buy this camera.
You're not gonna go anywhere.
Exactly. And I really need this camera, and I want this camera. So I'm saving. I started 3 days ago. So I have $15. It's nothing, but for somebody like me that has very little self-control on things that I should be having more self-control, that's big.
Oh, that's huge.
That's big.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
smart. That's because I have a friend that he was in the Marines for 8 years, and when he got out, he would smoke weed, and then but he quit weed too. And so the way that he quit weed is that he that every time he wanted to go spend money on weed, he would actually go and invest it into the stock market. And the interesting thing about the stock market is that on the last day of on the last working day of the year, you can, if you have up to 3K in losses, you can actually file paperwork to put it towards your regular income. So you can make money and when you make money, obviously pay the taxes. But if you lose up to 3K, you actually don't really not necessarily you don't necessarily lose it because it goes towards your regular income that you can write it as and it's
That's what I was thinking. So it could come off as a write-off. Pretty
That was
much.
my phone.
That's what I thought. Was that my phone?
So, all thanks to my friend who's holding me accountable, you know. He's like, show me the camera, and then he
Oh,
broke
nice.
it down for me, and so, thanks to him, I'm doing it, you know.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Get it.
I'm doing it because
Yeah.
he's like, you're not gonna listen to me anyways. I'm like, I'll prove it to you. I'll do it, you know. So
Yeah.
I have a little motivation to do it
That's
Yeah,
good.
got that.
because I don't listen to anyone, and I need to start.
Yeah.
It's a really bad habit of mine, but hey.
I had a friend that when I was working in car sales that told me, you know, like it's unrealistic that we're gonna go see these girls, or it's unrealistic that you're gonna do good in car sales, and this and that, and then it's like, so it was like, what are you talking about? And it was to the point where my last month working with them before they liquidated to a different company, I made 11 car sales that month, and was just only getting better.
Right.
And yeah, it's definitely pushing yourself and grinding for the things and
And it could be something really small, you
Yeah.
know, or it could be something. It could be at any level. It's a lifestyle, basically, you know.
Yeah.
Grinding towards reading books, towards that camera you need, towards that music track you need to make to further your career. It's the small things.
Motivators.
You know, motivators, small and big. So
proving somebody that says that's never gonna work. That's not that you're never like the people that's like with I believe it was Ferrari or or Lamborghini, whichever company, one of those two companies started as a tractor company or a
it all
farming
starts
company.
with a dream
Yeah.
or one man wanting something. That's all. That's everything that in America that's been created.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So that's what I've been up to.
Heck yeah.
As stupid as that may sound, $5 a day, man.
No,
Can't
that's-
get
Gotta
that.
start from somewhere.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta start from. Oh yeah, gosh, yeah, starting anywhere, yeah, it's better than going than going nowhere. I mean,
Right.
just sitting on something and dreaming about something and just thinking about it, you know.
You need to put action.
Yeah,
You need to silence those demons and do what it is that you need to do.
yeah, going for it
And take those much needed calculated risks because
every time.
what's the how can you even like get to the next level if you don't take those calculated risks?
Right?
Yeah, there's zero. Yeah, there's zero risk without there's zero reward without risk, and you only have to be right once. That's Mark Cuban's favorite.
You love that
favorite
guy,
quote.
right?
Yeah.
You love.
We
Yeah.
should have turned this into a drinking game.
Yeah, no, yeah, because he's a smart guy, you know, and he says that he got lucky becoming a billionaire, but you know, I'd like to one day be financially set to where my time is for me and what I want to do when
Not one day, baby.
Yeah.
Soon.
It's good
yeah.
to have those ambitions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely soon. Yeah.
yeah, it's like what is it, The Secret or one of those like movies where it's just like putting that intention out there and then just seeing it happen. Seeing
Laws
it
of
manifest.
attraction.
Laws of attraction, yeah.
But make
You gotta work for
We gotta
it,
work
man.
for it. Yeah, Jordan.
That's the thing.
Jordan Belfort says that because Jordan Belfort, being the Wolf of Wall Street, he says that too. You know that even though you may think about it, and then you have the law of attraction, but the thing about it is that you also you gotta knock on those doors. You gotta get in there. You gotta, yeah.
So on my Facebook, there's freelance guy who does videography posted something about he turned down 3 jobs, and I'm like, well, maybe you should humble yourself down to their level, build trust, so that they can pay you the money that you're worth,
Yeah.
instead of just
Yeah.
saying I turned 3 people down. I mean,
And I'm overqualified.
Right, I'm over-
Like,
Oh yeah.
if you want just somebody with a camera,
yeah.
then and you don't want art and what is it called?
Cinematographer.
Correct. Sorry, forgive me. I can't pronounce some things. Videographer, to say it better.
Yeah.
But both terms are 2 different things.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And I don't think anybody's above to like even like, I mean, unless it is that kind of case where all right, maybe I can't do this, but
I came across a lot of videographers
yeah,
or cinema
people, yeah.
that act like they're too good for my
Nice.
projects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you gotta know that, yeah, you might have a production or you might have this millions of dollars of equipment and experience, but if you don't go down to startups, to indie projects where it is humble, you're not gonna get anywhere, because you need to get your hands dirty from the bottom to the middle to the top.
Mhm.
And people at the top, they just forget about the middle and the bottom feeders.
Yeah.
And that's where the middle and the bottom, that's where you get to the top. And
Mhm.
people just, I don't know, they're
You know
just
what
like,
it is?
I'm too above.
But it's also about keeping like-minded people like that will help you get to that next level. Now, I'm not talking in the context of, oh, this person will like get me famous or get me
No,
clout or whatever.
just
Nah.
to the next step.
Yeah, it's like this is going to be the person that's going to help me hone my craft, make me like be a better person. you know?
Right.
Those are
Like,
the people that
it's
keep
it's
around.
the it's the people that help you better yourself while they're bettering themselves too.
It's building grit.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you gotta build, and he didn't respond to me, he didn't block me, he didn't message me or anything.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping he took that in, that that humble word, because I feel like sometimes we need to get humble. Even myself,
Agreed.
I fucked up this week about 10 times, and I had those serious conversations where like, Jeanette, you're fucking up.
Yeah.
What you did there is wrong, and you need to do this. And I listen, and it makes me a better worker, it makes me a better human, a better creator. When I'm like, okay, I see your point, I messed up. How about we do this? And I don't know. I feel like I'm in a better mindset than that person who turned down 3 jobs. All respect. I don't think he'll ever watch, but if you are, that's just
No shade.
no shade at all. I promise. It's just 2 different mindsets, I guess, or we're in 2 different worlds of crafting.
Yeah, humbleness is definitely, I think, it's definitely.
We forget.
Gotta
We
respect
forget
it.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But even if that is the case, where it's like those kind of people, like, if it's meant to be, it's meant for me. Like, there's that kind of like
Yeah.
thinking as well.
Yeah.
So,
It's rough.
it's-
Because I have come across people that are really high, at middle, and and below, and act like they're above. So I'm just learning how to deal with all that,
Okay.
which is the hard part of the grind, being in the midst of it. But I'm hungry, and this should show, because it's Sunday on Father's Day, and instead of being with our fathers and our families, we're here on the grind, believing that we got what it takes to take the grind to the next step.
Yeah. Rest in peace, our fathers.
Yeah.
Yes,
Following that dream.
for them
Yeah.
and the little bro. He's out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, any concluding thoughts, famous last words before we get on going?
So this one is like out of my playbook, but I don't know, like if I can just create into a quote. I don't know about trademarking it, but success is the best revenge, be an overachiever.
Yeah, heck yeah. Keep pushing.
And doing it with love.
Yeah, especially
in
that
the
part.
process.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because like Caitlin Clark said, there's a lot of hate in this world and we need some more love.
Yeah.
So shout outs to her because I've been watching you play ball and I love what I'm seeing.
Heck yeah.
And I'm not a WNBA fan, but I am a her fan. So
That's, yeah, I mean,
it's the year, man. It's the year. It's our year. All women out there, man.
Valkyries.
Valkyries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Bay Area team. See what we can come up with.
That's funny how we lost a couple teams, but we're gaining some new teams. So
Right.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
What do you think about that Klay Thompson?
what about it?
He deleted the Warriors off his Insta.
I mean,
Are you a Klay Thompson fan or
I
no?
love the Warriors and stuff, but if it's like social media stuff, I'm like whatever. I mean, is he even in good
Still a
terms with
free
them?
agent.
Okay. I mean, it's bittersweet, but the thing is, like, you know, he was a great asset to the team.
I think it's time for him to go.
Yeah.
In my truest opinion.
I mean, also look at it like this. He felt there's also been that hint that he's also been undervalued as like a
Bro,
player.
he scored 0 on the first game of the finals. 0.
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
get.
And he's
You
also
don't
had
know your
injuries,
worth,
too.
but be realistic with yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not talk about sports.
Can you guys state your name before we close
I
out?
am Jeanette Garcia, the
Danny.
host.
I'm Ed Caponemo, otherwise known as AKA.
AKA subscribe to them, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.
I'm ready to take that